In discussions like this concerning the contemporary effects of colonization in Africa, you know what the craziest part is? Is when you see your fellow black man, your fellow African, which is probably going through the same struggle, the same suffering, that colonization has caused in Africa in this recent time. You see them supporting the cause or supporting the justification of the Europeans for colonizing Africa. It's really crazy. You know why? Okay, before I go on, I urge you guys who don't know why I'm making this video to go, click on the comments, watch the video under which this comment was made. So, in the video, you have this woman who is, trying to justify her ancestors' colonization of African continent. She's saying that um, colonialism had this positive side and negative side, that it wasn't all that bad. And she said the positive side, one of which she mentioned education. Excuse me, he said they brought education to Africa. What do you mean by education? As a matter of fact, as at that time, Africa was already developing on its own. Africa was in the process of development. You know, there were different empires. Africa was, filled of different, distinct, cultures, different kingdoms, which interacted with one another in different ways. You see empires like the Oyo Empire, the Ghana Empire, the Buganda Kingdom. There are several, there are many, I can't even mention all. So these different distinct cultures were developing on their own. People, the African people, you know, were in charge of their resources, in charge of their natural environment, they lived, as at that time, there was more peace, there was more coexistence. And that time, you know, before you could see any occurrence of, war or conflict, it will be caused by land, probably when they are dragging land or something like that. Then you see the Europeans coming to put all these distinct people, these distinct people with distinct cultures together, put them under one name, under one nation for the sole purpose of exploiting them economically. You understand? Imagine putting empires that, people who were distant, people who were growing by themselves, people who only interacted through trade or warfare, putting them together. You feel me? And even the worst part is when the the at the end of colonialism, when they, now left us to rule ourselves, knowing fully well that them bringing us together was the problem at the first place. You feel me? Then now there is now this clash of interest, which I will refer to as tribalism, as to who is going to rule each other. So all this what I just said now is one of the contemporary effects of colonization. The Europeans did not only disrupt African development, but they also underdeveloped Africa. You know, their coming resulted into series of wars. The wars not with them, but the wars within ourselves. You feel me? Africa would have developed by its own, on its own, and probably even better without the incursion of the Europeans. We had our own cultures, our own languages, you know, our own resources. And these people, their sole purpose, their main aim was to come and exploit us, exploit us for our resources, and not only for our resources, for our manpower. That is talking about the slavery, but I don't want to talk about the slavery. I'm talking about these these people, their continual justification of the actions that they brought, their continual justification for the actions, being that they brought development to Africa is really crazy. It doesn't make sense. And for the fact that an African man, a fellow African man, doesn't know his history. By saying all this, it's really crazy, man. I just checked your profile, Mr. David Richard. You seem to be from Uganda. I don't really understand. Is it that you don't know your history? Please go and check your history. You understand? I am a historian. At least I'm fully bred with my history. I know my history. So please check your history, before involving yourself in arguments such like this. I have a book here written by Walter Rodney, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Maybe you should get your hand on a copy of this, try to read it. Try to read it. You feel me? So that's the, European colonization did more harm than good to Africans, even in this contemporary time. It put us, into clash with ourselves. You know, though I can't say that we are getting over that. We are starting to see ourselves as one. But the fact that we still even use their political system, which we never, even used before, like, it's really crazy. We still speak their language, make their language our legal franca. We still live the Western culture. It's really crazy, you know. But that's that. That's that anyway.